From time to time, I get questions about cutting boards and how I season mine. So today I'm going to show you the simple process that I go through when I season my cutting boards. So what is seasoning your cutting boards? Well, there's different names for it, but I like to say seasoning. And really what it is you're replenishing the oils that dry out from the cutting board. Now, different manufacturers of cutting boards have different recommendations. Some recommend things like raw, unfiltered coconut oil. Some recommend food grade mineral oil. And that's actually what I like to use is food grade mineral oil. Sometimes it's called board oil even. So you'll see it sold like that. But really just follow whatever the directions for your cutting boards are. Now, this cutting board I'm going to demonstrate on today is a walnut cutting board. It's from Virginia Boy's Kitchen. I love this. I bought it, I don't know, maybe 2 years ago, and it's just fantastic. But it's got, cuts and nicks and everything in it, and that's normal. It's a cutting board. And the first thing you want to do is make sure your cutting board is clean. And all I do to clean my cutting boards generally, unless they're super, super dirty, is I'll just take a rag with hot water and I will scrub them, and then I'll make sure they're dry. And this one is clean. I've cleaned it. But it is a little bit dry. I can just even see that. And if you run your hand over it, you'll kind of feel that it's just at that point where the moisture and the oils are starting to leave it. So it's time to season this. And I end up doing that probably once every month or two, depending on how much I use it and the conditions. If you're in a very dry climate, it can dry your boards out very quickly. So first thing, I'm just going to take some of my board oil here. This is food grade mineral oil, and I'm going to put some on top. And when you do this, you're going to do all sides, but I like to do one side at a time. And I'm just going to demonstrate on this side today. And you want to make sure you do your edges too, because they're part of the board. They will dry out. And then I just like to take some paper towels. You can also just use a nice clean towel if you want. And I spread it around and rub it in. And once you get this first layer on, you're not done. Because really what you need to do is you need to distribute it. And then you need to let it sit for a little while, and you need to see if it's absorbing all of it. You want to take this to the point where it's almost not going to absorb anymore because it's saturated. And you can see there's a nice shiny sheen on here. Shiny sheen. Shiny sheen. Say that 10 times fast. Shiny sheen. You're going to let this sit for a few minutes, then we'll check it, and I know we're going to need to add more. So we've been sitting here for about 10 minutes now, and I can see where it is starting to look a little dry again. That means it's absorbed a lot and it can take some more. So we're going to add a little bit more mineral oil. Take my paper towel and work it in. And you can see in this overhead camera here, the light's reflecting because the board is accepting that liquid, becoming almost reflective, and it's going to soak into the grain, saturate it, and really help with its longevity and its performance. And that's all there is to it. From the looks of this, I'll probably do one more coat, and then it'll be ready. I'll let it dry, flip it over, do the other side, do the edges, and my cutting board will be good for another month, 2, 3 months, depending on how much I use it. If you treat your cutting board well, it'll treat you well.